So we are back in this weird camera angle, which means one thing: we're playing Tetris today, and we're gonna aim for maybe some wins. I'm wearing my good luck double McDonald's outfit, both shirt and hat, from back in my working at McDonald's days some time ago. What is some time ago for me at this point? Close to 10 years, which I think makes me sound older than I am, but we'll leave it at that. So again, we're doing our just an absolutely brutal start. I don't know how I can sit there in good faith and tell you should watch me play Tetris when I just did something that poor right out of the gate. But here we are. And we're just gonna forget it happened. Every single one of us. We're just gonna close our eyes. And I've gotta open them again because I have to play, but if your eyes are still closed, that's good, and you can open them again, and we can just forget about that atrocious start. Ideally, we get a little bit better here, because we're still kind of at an atrocious start. So one of the things here, so you can see, I think I showed you last time, this rotation there, that rotation at the top. Anytime you make a mistake, essentially, especially early in the game when everyone is still pretty low, you're gonna get a lot of attackers on you because people set it to KOs just to try and get sort of some easy badges right off the start, and that gives you the because if you can get easy ones right off the start, it gives you the multiplier that you need to win later on in the game. So that's not how I like to play because it's a little I don't want to say mean, because it's not really mean at all. It's just a video game, but it's kind of like micromanaging, I guess. I just sort of want to focus on just playing really good Tetris, and I have a hard time doing both, which is what makes a good Tetris 99 player, which I am not there yet. So maybe we'll get there together as we progress on this road. This YouTube channel road. Okay, we're not doing too bad here. We're sort of playing a little higher than I would like and a little more uncontrolled than I would like. I feel like I'm on a rotation that I'm not really in love with. Like I'm finding myself having to think a lot about these moves, which is not normal. Which is not normal for me. I can usually play pretty fast, but I think I've had just sort of some weird boards and some misdrop right off the top has sort of discombobulated me a little bit. So it's tough. It's such a game for me. It's such a game of momentum and of focus. And when you have a rough start, see, even that switch was like just not a switch I should have made. When you have a rough start, I find it so hard to sort of slot back into playing the way that you know you can. But we're doing our best, and that's all that anyone can ask for. If you're asking for more than that from me, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because I can only give you my best. So we're gonna have to build like a false bottom here and kind of start trying to whittle away a bit, because we just don't have the pieces that we want. See, maybe we can get out of this, maybe, if we play really quickly here. And we get a little bit lucky. That was maybe not the move. That was definitely not the move, but luckily we've been saved by... Oof, I wish I should have used that there. But I didn't, and we're still okay though. We're just holding on, just barely. Don't say that I'm not trying, because look at that. Look at how low we got here. That's one of those. That's a momentum move there. Hopefully we can take some of that and build on it here, because we're struggling this game. not gonna lie. Or it feels like we're struggling at least. Again, I have no sound, and I'm trying my best not to look at the score, so you might be sitting there laughing at me. Maybe I'm like top 10 or something, and I'm opining about how poorly my play is, how poor my play is when maybe I'm poised to win it for all I know right now. I haven't took a peek at the score or how many KOs I've got yet, so I don't really know how we're stacking up. But I do know that for pretty much the first time in this game, I actually feel like I've got a board that I'm okay with. And famous last words, though, on that front. I feel like I'm doomed to lose any and all progress as soon as I say something like that. That was a very lucky, could have been a really painful misdrop for me, but I just barely touched that button on time, I guess. Not too early, just on time, though it was just about too early. Okay, so I think here, I feel like I can clean this up a bit, and then I'm gonna try and take a look at the score and see if I can, okay. So we're 18th and we have 3 KOs. That's, I'd say not ideal, but it's workable. I don't really feel like I feel like I'm sort of getting back into my groove here, and that's at a good time because we're approaching top 10. So the fact that I'm finally in a decent board position and while we're going into top 10, I guess gives me at least a shot, right? At least a shot at it. That was close. I just barely got a rotation there that I needed. Let's clean that up. We can switch to the red. We can take our green that we held, and we can keep building out that way. So we've got a good spot for the square. We're getting a really nice rotation here that's working for us. Top 11. So we're gonna top 10 here, which is, that's a success any day in my books, really. Anytime I can top 10, I'm pretty happy. Oof, that's not a good one, but we're gonna make it work there. That's not so bad. That could have gotten a lot worse. Ooh, okay. I'm not too thrilled with that little string of blocks that I used, but lucky we were able to get out of it there. I've got a hold that works nicely there. And let's build across again. Let's try and work our way up to a Tetris. If we could get a nice Tetris or even a big clear like that helps us a lot at this point. Top 6. So we're gonna top 5. Yep, top 5, which is again even more of a win. Talking about getting our wins. That was not where I wanted to play that, but effectively the same play as what I wanted to do, which was just a little later. Ooh, so I think we're gonna get a Tetris built here, if I'm not mistaken, because we've got a square coming, and then we've got, yep, okay, we can clear that, we can clear this, we can put that there, and we can build towards another Tetris, I believe, because of what we've got coming. Not quite a Tetris, but really line clears, when you're talking top 3, when you're talking top 5, top 10 even, what really matters at the end of the day is just getting your line clears, because you just want to stay in the game, right? I should have been able to get a T-spin there, but I couldn't, so let's just... Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. That might have just cost us the game there if we can't react quickly. Or maybe we get lucky and they don't really react, or they don't have a lot of clears they can make right now, which is sometimes the other thing that'll happen if you're quite lucky. You'll make a misplay like that, but they can't really slam you for it right away. But I am getting slammed for it now, which ain't good. Oh, that's it. Yeah, we're out of this one. That's gonna be game for us unless we can pull off a right miracle here, but I don't see it happening. So that's 2, top 2. I'm certainly never going to complain about a medal, as I mentioned last game. I'm so slouched in my chair so that you guys can see my hands going. You know what the smart human thing to do would be is, whoop, Wrong lever. Also the wrong lever. How many levers do I have on this chair? Where is the lever that makes me go up and down? I'm already all the way down. As I waste all of your time fiddling with my chair and not even moving it. So 1 game down, and we top 2'd, which means we're probably going to have a bit of a target on our backs at the start of this game. We're going to set it to attackers, as I pretty much always do, if you've been paying attention. And let's just go. We're off to the races. Hopefully we can get a little bit smoother of a start. We kind of were on our back foot almost all of that game, so I'm pretty pleased with myself to even get that top 2. Like I said, it was such a hectic start, and it's such the way that I play, or the way that I feel as I play this game, is that it's so I personally am just so need the momentum to be good. I need to feel good about how I'm playing, and I did not in that last game. Okay, this is a little... Let's just start taking a couple of Tetrises here, because we're not really getting the pieces we want. So we should clear out that side a bit, burn a bit off. I think that's what they call it if you watch like the Tetris World Championships, which I love to watch sometimes. Those people are just so good. I think they call it burning when you do something that is not a Tetris. Because they essentially play where you have to get a Tetris just about every time that you clear a line if you want to have a decent score. So I'm not sure if you would say the same thing here, because the goal is very different, but in effect we're doing the same thing. Alright, I'm liking this board a lot. Was I on not attacking anybody? How is that even possible? I thought you always had to be attacking somebody. Anyway, we are doing fairly well here. I like our positioning. I like sort of the diversity of drop spots that we have for different types of blocks. See, that one's not so good, but when that happens, you want to just be able to take a Tetris, right? If I paint myself into a corner like that, I always want to have a Tetris on hold, essentially. I'm not gonna do that here. I can go to this side and this side. I can get another Tetris on hold. I've got a square coming, so I need that there. I can take that Tetris to whittle down the stack a bit. Let's use this one to build here, because we have the pieces coming to repair back to the point where we have a Tetris on hold again. So there's also benefits to playing near the top of the board. I think I very briefly mentioned it last time, but I was in such a hectic point in the game that I couldn't really talk too much about it, but lines that you clear near the top of the board have an added bonus to sort of to the damage they do on other people's boards. So you're sending lines right to other players as you clear them off of your board. Whoever you're choosing to attack is sort of receiving your lines. So when those lines are cleared from your board near the top of the screen, they're more effective on the opponent's screen. So if you're confident enough of a player that you can play right at the very tip top of the board, you can really do a lot of damage to other people, especially because you'll also be auto-targeted as somebody that's close to being KO'd, which means you'll have more people on you, which means you'll send garbage to more people, and you're sending more efficient garbage. So there is like a definitely a huge benefit to playing top of board if you can pull it off, which I try not to do unless I'm being forced to, because I played poorly. I wouldn't say I'm the best top. I would say I'm a decent top of board player. I think I find that I can get out of it quite a bit, but it's really like the really strong players you'll find sort of relish playing up there. They actually actively seek out playing up at the top of the board. So we've got somebody that's pretty vicious on us right now, so we're just gonna have to clear a few lines. There we go. That's always something to keep in mind as well. So like I've been matched right now, I'm clearly matched against someone that's quite good, and that is just gonna be a huge blow, especially because I don't have a Tetris on hold. But we should maybe be able to dig ourselves out of it a bit. We got quite a good combo there, which certainly helps, but we need to dig out this spot here. I need a blue L, there it is, and that was a huge, enormous misplay that has deeply hurt me. Okay, so I do have another blue piece coming, but I have to be able to get there. That's not the ideal place for any of this. I'm just toast. I'm toast, friends. I don't think there's any recourse for me here. Let's just be a little quiet for a second while I try and sort out my affairs. What have we got here? That's a spot of luck. That sure is a spot of luck. Okay, wow. What is that? What is that famous quote about something about how rumors or the rumor of my death has been greatly exaggerated? Wow. You know what? That's like such a powerful quote, I think, when you read it properly, and I just sort of meekly gummed my way through it and basically said nothing. Oh, I'm getting just stomped on again here. I don't know where this is coming from. Oof. Oof. Ah, wowzers. Let's clear some lines, please. More clears, more clears. Oh. Wow, I was... Again, so I was like, I don't think I mentioned there, I was not really paying any attention at all to where I was. It was not until I was eliminated that I even realized I was top 4. I was about to look dead into the camera and say, this was a failed game. Again, I'll take anything in the top 10 as a win, really. Nail down 3 straight top 5s, and we had some really good top of board play in that last game. I think that's a huge positive that we can take away if we're just sort of looking at like a play-by-play of how that went. News of my death has been... I don't know. I shouldn't invoke a quote that I don't know. Okay. Having a hard start here because, again, I think if you remember that conspiracy theory I mentioned in the first video, is that you get your harder matchups right after a good game, so we have to be on the ball to start at least and fend off some attackers. Let's think about our board a bit here. We had such a strong start to our board last game, and I'm not quite feeling that this game, but there are things we can do. A little slide there will help, and then we've got some garbage headed our way, so let's take a Tetris and then put another one in the bank. That's a bit of an awkward square, so we're going to take that 3 and clear down a bit so that we can set up again. Let's do that so we can spin that in there. But then that gives us a bit of a natural spot for that square, and then another place I can put that. I don't want to put that there because it buries my sort of my entrance point to the garbage that's below. And now we're kind of finally in a spot where we're going to be able to rebuild a bit. So this is a tough one. We've got a lot of tall, sort of gaps in our build here that I don't want. Let's take that. See, again, kind of an awkward square, but at least we can burn it away and not have to worry too much about it. Okay. And let's... Okay, clear that out. That feels good. That feels alright too. Again, sometimes, like, when you're starting to see how much the garbage I have is building up, that's really when I'm just thinking to myself, like, I just have to clear some lines here. I like to play for, like, your perfect Tetrises, but, you know, sometimes it's not always realistic. Let's take that in there, there, sugar. We're not looking so hot all of a sudden. I guess we've got that blue there. We've got this. This can spin in there. The square can go there. I kind of find when I'm like talking through or talking my moves out loud, even though it's like so non-descriptive and not necessarily helpful for the viewer, who's you, does tend to make me feel like I'm doing something more. So that would have been ideal for a blue, but we're just gonna have to take what we can get here. I wanna do that to make sure that I can uncover that area. And if we need to, I can put something down there that's sugar. Or don't have a, there we go. So that's basically literally the 3 pieces I was sort of praying for there. I needed an orange or a blue that I could see. I've really painted myself into needing these blues. So what we're gonna do is just make a false bottom, and we've got 2 blues coming up sort of right on top of each other. So we're gonna put 1 on each side, and we're gonna just have to work with this false bottom on both fronts for a little bit. And just hope for the best, because I've got no other option. Sometimes you're just here and you gotta do it. I like that we're pretty flat, but I don't like, there we go. So we had to, I didn't think I really had access to that spot yet. And again, we're really battling somebody here. This is the part of the game that I think I fell in love with a bit, is that like, I can sort of try and you're like literally one-on-one kind of fighting somebody in a sense, even though I'm not literally doing that. You know, they're sending stuff my way, I'm sending stuff their way. Oh, that's just brutal. That's just brutal. Come on. We can get out of this. We can get out of this. It's not over yet. Now it's over. All right. Top 20. Just by an inch. So those are some good games. Who's got a calculator? Phone's brightness is just at the lowest it could possibly be. A top 10 average on 3 straight games. That's a big success in my books. Let's call it a day there. I'll be back with some more variety stuff this week before we get into Islanders on the weekend. But yeah, thank you and see you soon.